First day was a draftsman in TP Bennett's, and it was absolutely terrifying. 17, just left school, no work experience except working in stores and all sorts of odd jobs, and no understanding of the industry or what an architect was or what a draftsman was. I think I wish I'd known what I found out fairly quickly, that there was a lot of people in it who I thought would be very clever, but I could do their job, which is why I then ended up being an architect. It isn't a mysterious industry, it is one you can get into. If you want to be promoted, you should enjoy what you do. And I think that's more important than wanting to be promoted. It's about enjoying what you do and wanting to change the things that happen around you. That tends to get you promoted rather than wanting to be promoted. I think a lot of society is addicted to long hours, and I think it should change. I think a work-life balance is pretty important. Particularly for once you start to have family, and that drives a lot of behaviour that's not very good. I didn't know I did join the construction industry. Some career guy said, look, you're pretty good at spatial thinking, but you're not much good at anything else, become a draftsman. And then I looked around and thought it was quite an interesting one. And I've just always enjoyed doing something in front of me, and I've always been in the industry since 17, so 41 years, I guess. Challenged by industry? I think we have some inherent challenges of sexism and racism still. I think we have ageism. I think we're not giving enough authority to people when they're younger. I think we aren't engaging in cross-discipline enough. I think there's far too much barriers between designers and contractors. I think there's not enough hands-on experience for designers on site. I think the supply chains are too long. I think there's a massive skill issue to do with decarbonising the industry and productivity. And that is a journey that's barely started. A great company to work for is one that is ambitious for itself and knows what it does. And it isn't corporate pap, it isn't about nice reports for the shareholders or the owners or publicity. It's about someone whose ethos and values reflect in the way they actually behave. And most importantly, the way they behave when they're in trouble. We're all nice people when we're not under stress. And that's a great company. Single superpower. I think understanding other people's disciplines and where those disciplines need to be in 5 years. Single best moment of my career. I can't remember one like that. I mean, I've just always enjoyed seeing businesses and people do well, and it's part of a continuum. I don't think it is about single issues. It's about dealing with lots of issues in a way that comes out better than it would have been if you hadn't intervened. I think it's a continuum. Seeing people being smart as a group and thinking of issues before there's a problem. That really cheers me up. A single thing about the industry. I think I'd like to see the industry even more engaged in the bravery needed the courage needed to decarbonise itself at the time frame society's committed itself to. And I think we're still dancing at the edge, and if there's a single issue, grasping that nettle and being far braver about the changes needed to achieve that. I don't think I have any idols as individuals, to be quite honest. I think most people are seen to be either far worse or far better than they actually are. I think that's what humanity is interested in. We're all a mixed, we're all a curate's egg. So I don't have those sort of idols of anybody. I mean, clearly Mandela is one of those iconic figures for freedom and morality that you see. But there are many people that have huge positive characteristics and have huge negative characteristics. A mentor? No, but there's been people I've worked with who I have drawn in enormous amount. Be they, the Mayor Koch I worked in New York, or Reichman I saw as being making decisions in a certain way, which surprised me. And it's drawing off a sort of family of professionals around you, and you see their weaknesses and their strengths. So I've never had someone to take me under their wing. Oh, because men are frightened. Women, we're naturally prejudiced, and it's outrageous.